At least at low level. High level might not be so good.
All right, guys.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to episode 18.
Hello.
Woo!
No.
End of the year, part 1 of 3. Hopefully, these go well. I'm
No.
not prepared. I was sick for the past 3 days, and I've been rush jobbing it, unfortunately. We'll see. There was a bunch of stuff I wanted to do, but that didn't happen, so we may have to save it for next year. Well, we're on 18. We're going to cheat a little bit because I'm labeling the podcast for tomorrow and Friday 19 and 20. So we'll have done 20 of them this year. Which I'll say I want to thank you guys for sticking with it because we've done podcasts before. Like 2015 I think was the first set we did, and we got to, I think it was 4. Those are still out there on the YouTubes if you want to go check out the old ones. Maybe it's 5, but anyways, we only did like 5 of them, and then we were done. And then we were going to do a local one, which we only did one time, and I didn't even put it out on YouTube. So, and that was a different time, like maybe last year, 2017. So this one's actually, we've actually done it consistently for the most part. We started a little late in the year, so we didn't do a full year technically yet. But also we started weekly, and then we're like, you know what? Every 2 weeks, probably better.
Yeah.
So that's good. You know, it's good. I think it's a good increment, 2 weeks. And it's been pretty fun. I've enjoyed them so far. I like hanging out and talking to you guys about different games and news and patches and all that kind of stuff. So it's been pretty cool. Unfortunately, I think we're going to be saying goodbye to one of us this year. Tarnis, I think, is going to be bowing out due to work reasons. So next year we're going to have a new guy. We'll see how that goes. Appreciate you taking the time and streaming with us for sure, dude.
No, I appreciate it, and like I said, I'll try to stop and be a guest every now and then whenever I can.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely take you in a guest format at some point. So
whenever you read the messages, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The reading thing. Anyway, but hey, it was good to have you this year. Thank you. And we'll definitely bring you in a couple times next year when you got time. So we'll find a replacement. I don't know who it's gonna be, but I mean the qualifications are low. It's fine. You know, It's not gonna be hard to find a new guy. So.
I mean, you guys did let me in, so yeah, they're pretty low.
We'll let anybody into the podcast. It's fine. Okay, cool. So this podcast we're gonna kind of go over like basically any end of the year lists that you could think of. We're not really doing lists per se. More or less like our best game of 2018, surprising news of 2018, biggest disappointment, and then our 2019 hype. Some of those are kind of lists for us because like I can't pick one 2019 thing I'm super excited about. Trying to limit myself, and my fellow podcasters helped me out by taking the other ones I wanted to talk about, but then they're also cool with as well. So we'll probably cover a lot of things. Yeah, win-win. We'll probably cover a lot of things that you might be excited about as well. Whereas if we would have all just picked one, we would have missed a lot of stuff. So I think that's good. Normally we do some like gaming stories and gaming news, stuff like that. I wanted to focus mostly on end of the year stuff, and then we'll do that stuff like normal starting next year when we start our podcast next year. We'll go back to that format. For this year, we're still going to talk about like the stuff we've been playing like this past couple weeks, and then we're going to get into the end of the year stuff. So we're not really talking about news or anything or new games coming out, at least in the essence of the next couple weeks. So first, we'll start about do we have any clips? Because I think Tarnis does, right?
Yeah, it's me getting wrecked horribly by one of my good friends, Known.
No, this was during the tournament held by N8 Entertainment and Kovic, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I tried to yell out parlay, but it didn't work out apparently.
The one thing, so we'll take a look at that. That's a Twitch clip. So you obviously played PUBG this week.
Yeah.
You play anything
you
else
guys
this
have-
week? PoE, I think.
Yeah, new Betrayal, Path of Exile. That's been a lot of fun.
Shit.
I saw you.
What?
I was watching you stream the other day, and you're. I think like I don't play the game. At least I don't play it enough to know what the hell's going on. But you were, I think, doing some randomization or something, and I saw it was going good for you. It was like you were getting items out of some randomization thing, and you were getting you were getting like the gem sockets you needed. So I was watching you that day, and it looked like you were having a good time because you're like, yes, this is awesome.
Oh
That was
yeah,
so cool.
I was striking gold.
Shields or something, I think, is what you were doing.
Yeah, I was trying to link shit that should not be linked that way, and it worked out like in the first try. I was like, okay, yeah, this works.
So that's cool. So PoE and PUBG for you. Anything else?
Not really. I've been working on organizing my Discord a little bit better.
Oh yeah. I saw you asking some questions the other day, so that's good. Also, I need to get an invite, please, because I haven't seen it.
Oh, fixing that right now.
Anyways,
Same.
cool. So then we got Jiggly.
Yo.
What have you been playing? Looks like the same thing I've been playing mostly.
Yes, actually, since you started the vanilla Minecraft server, I hopped on that a little bit. Just got into Legends of Aria the other day once they fixed their login issue.
Yeah.
And then the new Smash Bros. Been playing a lot of that.
I'm
It's
glad.
good.
I'm glad some people are playing that. Also, Ian's doing Smash Bros too.
Ian,
Right?
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So at least
bought
we
it
got
just
some
because.
people playing it. So
I mean, I bought it just because I was playing it at Jiggly's for so fucking long.
We played it for legitimately 6 hours straight without moving. Like, I think you peed once.
Yeah, I peed once, you peed once, and then like we also went to go get food, and then we came back and played some more.
Yeah, we played till like 3 or 4 in the morning, I think, on a Saturday.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was hype. And it was like on the whim. Like, I wasn't going to buy one. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Smash came out today. I'm going to go buy Smash.
And then I was like, man, that was pretty fun. I should,
get a Switch.
Buy Smash.
Well, it's funny because both you guys bought a Switch on my account within like a month period. So GameStop is like, "Hey, you got some Switches there, buddy." I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of targeted ads the next few weeks. Like, "Hey, you want some accessories for all these Switches you're
Hey,
buying?"
you want more Zelda?
Yeah.
You want to buy it again?
I'm like, okay, thanks, guys. So we'll see.
You're welcome. We thought you wanted the points.
I mean, sure, I haven't used them, but I definitely can probably get like a free game.
Can now.
Yeah, I can probably get a free game now because of all the points on there. So
Give me
that's
something.
worth. We'll see how. It goes. Hey, I gave you that $50 one.
Yeah.
That's worth. What did you buy with that, by the way? You were telling
I
me.
bought the fucking character pass for goddamn Smash.
All right, so
So it's basically nothing right now because none of them are unlocked yet.
yeah, I got you. All right,
Feels
so
bad.
Smash. I didn't play Smash because I didn't buy it. I had a chance to play it after our company Christmas party last week, I think.
I bring it over right now.
But unfortunately, I was not feeling good after that Christmas party, so I had to go home.
You drank too much?
No,
No.
like it's something I ate.
Didn't drink enough.
Yeah, something I ate. Anyways, but I have been playing a lot of Minecraft and Legends of Aria. I really like Legends.
We are the Rat Kings.
Yeah, I there is a lot that I love about it because of its UO like
Style.
style. It is definitely not UO, but there is a lot of similarities, like where it makes the changes I like, and where it keeps it kind of true to UO I like. So in general, I feel like it's a pretty decent game. So we'll see. I mean, they're still working on it. There's still skills not in the game. There's no necromancy. There's no pickpocket. All that's coming in January supposedly. And they still don't have like the entire world spawned yet. There's a few things. They're really focusing on server side performance right now because they're about to launch on Steam in January, which is probably going to bring an influx of people. So they just want that stability up and everything. So we'll see how that goes. And then I've been playing Minecraft. Minecraft is a thing that I realized why I should stop playing it. And that's because I decide to play Minecraft, and then I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this project. And then I'm like, hey, why did I do this? Because I just made a project that's probably going to take me like 3 weeks to complete. So I think that's why I don't play Minecraft in long chunks, because it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna do this for 3 weeks, because I have 2 projects going on right now. One of them, and this probably means nothing to you because you probably don't know how big this is or how small it is. But one of them is a cave I'm digging out, or it's a room I'm digging out of underground that's 80 by 40 by 20, which is a lot of blocks. And just in the ceiling alone, I need like 12,900 glowstone to light it up correctly. So I've been trying to go, and this is on a survival server, so I have to collect everything, right? And so that, yeah, that's why I don't play. So I've been doing that, and that's been great. And then my current project on our server is I was like, hey, I'm gonna make this this wall. I'm gonna have like an enclosed, like castle style above ground thing. I was like, at least I want to dig out all these blocks. Well, I decided this wall needed to be so big, and it ended up being like 110 by 110. So it's 110 by 110 by 110 by 110 because it's 4 walls, and it's like 16 blocks high, so that all the surrounding land doesn't, nobody can jump over the wall. And so I need like, I don't remember, I didn't really calculate it, but I need a ton because the wall's 3 layers thick. I need like 20,000 or something stone blocks to make that wall and finish it, and that's just the wall. Like, that's nothing else. So it's great,
So, and like me and you've been talking about mods and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, like with the project you're doing, like you'd have to collect the materials, which is in and of itself difficult. However, if you were to get the building mod that I suggested, it would make your life a whole lot easier. Just because it lets you take like a length of space all at once.
Yeah.
And
so we can do that. We
Yeah.
can do that. So my only concern, and not that we got to get into this now, there's a difference between quality of life mods and mods. It's not cheating per se, because I'm sure you still have to have the materials, but like it makes the accomplishment less in theory.
Sure.
Because you're using like an assist. But yeah, so, and that's something we have to talk about. And I'm definitely going to put the quality of life mods in. And I like the McMMO from before, so we'll look at that kind of stuff. But we'll see.
McDonald's has an MMO?
MC, MMO, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, also, real quick, just for you guys that are new to the stream, on the podcast, there are no notifications, but I do see that you sub. Thank you. Just FYI, because we put this up on YouTube, and I don't like to have the like notifications in there while people are listening. So, just FYI. Hey, what's going on, Del? Anyway, so playing Minecraft, 2 giant projects that I probably never get finished. No, we will. We're gonna keep playing. So look out for that. You can go and watch me play Minecraft on the stream. And then mostly it's me digging or placing blocks, so it's kind of boring. But if you want to come and talk, it's the best time to talk. It's the best time to talk because Dell's comment, I got you. Because I'm not really doing anything mind-boggling. Like, I'm not playing PUBG, I'm not having to be quiet and all that kind of stuff. So we usually listen to music and just hang out on those streams. So let's talk about you guys real quick. I know, so let's do state of the stream real quick for you guys, because I wanted to kind of get into this for a minute as part of our end of the year thing for each of our groups. I know, so some of you have started the streaming and some of you aren't streaming right now, and so I want to hear from you guys. So first of all, Daviji,
That's me.
which next year should we change your name, because your Twitch that you started is Devoshi, right?
My Twitch is still the VJ, I thought. I don't remember, dude.
No,
Fuck.
it's not. It's Devoshi. So,
Maybe
anyways, you just started streaming.
Yeah.
Do you have plans in 2019 to actually stream on a schedule?
Dude, with the new job? Yeah.
It's a lot easier once you have this job, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
When I was working retail, that shit was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. So,
Oh shit, a bugbear! All right, I'm out.
for your I'm just saying. So, let us know if you're gonna actually start streaming on a schedule, so we can post it up.
I plan to.
And see about it. So, but Jiggly, who was
Yeah.
streaming at the beginning of this year. I haven't seen you online in a while.
So
Are you taking a break? Or are you just trying to get your life together?
I'm actually, so it was a little bit both.
Yeah.
I was streaming, I think, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And I kind of burned myself out on it.
Also, not an easy thing to do while you're working.
Yes. Also, yeah, working full time. And so also when I had a girlfriend, it wasn't really good for our relationship.
Yeah.
So all those things took into effect. I just kind of just figured I'd take a break. Also, I think something happened with my computer, but no, that wasn't this time. That was last time. Anyway, games were boring for me at the time. Like nothing just really kind of lined up. None of my friends were playing anything I wanted to play, and then I also just didn't want to sacrifice and play with them because it was games I just didn't want to play. So I took a break. I do have plans to get back into it here very soon. I was thinking maybe this week or next week. So
Cool.
I just don't know. Like for me, it's more of like I'll stream whatever the fuck I'm playing. I don't care. But if I'm not playing with other people, then I won't play at all. So I just got to find a group of people that'll play like things, and then go from there.
Well, and so that's good. I mean, if you're gonna start, that's cool. I was just wondering, so people know. What about you, Tarnus? I know you stream in the mornings, right? How's that been going?
Yep. That's been going pretty good, actually. I just wanted a change of time since I was getting tired of streaming really late at night and then waking up and then just going to work. Now I can like throw some laundry in and get some shit done while I'm streaming, and then just having some fun. Beardsley, part of the Kovic crew, has been duoing with me, so it's been working out.
Well, that's good. It's always nice to find a time to stream. With me, my time is very limited on when I can do it with a job and the kids. So I'm limited to nighttime only. I wish I could stream in the morning. I guess I could stream in the morning. The problem is it would be so early that it's just as bad as streaming at night for me, probably. So, I'd have to be up at like 2 in the morning and streaming until work, So neither one are really the best ones for me. So I like the 9 o'clock one the better. I think it's the better choice out of the two at least. But I'll still be doing that, I think. And I think my state of the stream next year, y'all should be looking at some new stuff. We got a couple of different podcast ideas that we're gonna do. We're still gonna be doing our gaming one that we've been doing all this year about new games coming out, like what we like, what we think is going to be terrible, the gaming news, stuff like that. But I've been talking with some of the other guys and doing some stuff for stream related things, like kind of like how-to type stuff, like if you're ever interested in like enhancing your stream and making it better. I mean, stuff like that, like who to talk to about getting new graphics, all that kind of stuff. Like we're probably gonna do some stuff like that, because I got you guys know Kovic's probably gonna start doing some YouTube stuff, and so we're talking about doing a podcast about that kind of stuff. So we're gonna do some hopefully helpful podcasts in that aspect.
How to fix my mic
here and there, how to fix
yes,
Ian's dirty mic and all his fan noise, blah blah blah. I haven't talked to her about it yet, but since she's in the chat, I might talk to Dell and Flint and see if they want to do one, because they're really good on community stuff and like getting involved in a lot of different projects that help promote yourself in the streaming.
And we are not.
And so those are some things that everybody could benefit from, and if everybody's down to talk about it, we will. So that's some stuff that's going to probably happen next year. I know I just changed like our podcast layout, like I want to say October or September, but next year I'll have a new podcast layout as well, so this will look a little different. I have some stuff. I've always wanted to have like the topic we're currently talking about up on the podcast while we're watching videos and stuff like that, so people know what's happening if they come in like late, stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes, So there's some stuff coming up that we're gonna do, I think. So you guys stay tuned for next year. We're definitely gonna be doing some new stuff for sure. Let's play this clip, Tarnus, about your execution by Known. Forgive me 1 second because I labeled these podcasts end of the year and it literally destroyed my Stream Deck buttons. So we will switch to video with cams. And I need to move my notes because you don't want to watch that. I'll put those over here. All right.
Oh, we want to watch your notes.
No, you don't need to see podcast notes, right?
Oh, I need to. It's not like I have them up on my own computer.
I'd hope you do.
That's a lot of GOG emails.
All right, boys. No trolls.
You guys are for a lot for me.
All right, so I got this paused. Let me open up the Twitch one. There we go. All right, you wanna say anything about this before we get started?
All right, my partner, Gliding Eagle, and I dropped in 2 different compounds because I was falling short. And then Known and Reset apparently split up as well, and I got Known landing on top of me. So here's what happened.
We know how well that goes over.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go, guys.
Spoiler alert.
And by the way, this is Tarnis's point of view. And we know how good Tarnis is at PUBG. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, I'm not any better, so it's fine.
Seriously, I think at point blank, I don't think I hit him a single fucking time either.
All right, here it goes.
Right.
I'm down.
It's known.
Parlay! Parlay!
My favorite part of that is where you just start going, Parlay! And Known's just like, so we know Known. And so it makes it funnier because we know who he is. But he's just like, Parlay! Parlay! And Known's like, nope, getting shotgun in the face. You know, we've been playing a lot of PUBG lately, and the state of the game is like everybody thirsts everybody. And I know it's a small movement, but a lot of us have started not thirsting people because we're like, look, it's really lame to get in a really badass like 4v4 and take the other team out, and all your other team's dead because they just thirsted you, you know? And so we don't thirst anymore, usually. As long as the other team doesn't thirst us, we don't thirst anybody. And that way people can get back up and continue with their team. They're not just like lost 2 people and back out. You know, we think it helps the quality of the game to not thirst. But in this instance against Tarnis, he definitely Known thirsted the hell out of him. I don't know why. Maybe it was just hatred.
In tournament rules, kills counted as points.
Yeah, it was a tournament, so that makes sense. So it makes a little more sense. Plus, the chance of you getting back up and killing him later could have been there. So, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so.
I think the funniest part was right after, if you went to his stream, Reset just starts laughing, and he has no idea why she's laughing. She's like, "Oh, by the way, you just killed Tarnis." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Well, that's what Gliding said in that clip. He was like, "Oh, it's known."
Yep.
So he saw it on the kill feed. Anyways, cool. That's a good clip. We don't have a ton of clip. We don't have any other clips, so that's. I'm glad you posted something, so we can go with that.
Look, I wanted to.
Yeah, what were you gonna post? You run around a dungeon for 6 hours? Look at that.
Fucking nothing, dude. Just my screen getting spammed. I
have some decent Minecraft things that I probably could have clipped, and I should do that next time. Mostly, I don't think about it when I'm playing Minecraft because I usually think that it's not necessarily a boring game to play, but like there's not a ton happening usually. And so I just need to remember when stuff does happen to hit the clip button because there are times when it's like a perfect opportunity.
You know, here's the biggest issue why I don't fucking hit the clip button. I don't have a clip button, and I'm way too lazy to open up my own stream.
Hey,
so
gotta get yourself a Stream Deck. This podcast is not sponsored, but you need a Stream Deck. If you're gonna stream,
I haven't won any competitions. Okay, I haven't won any contests.
True. I did win my Stream Deck from this stream.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, I bought mine, so I don't know what your excuse is now.
Jiggly bought his.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey,
I was the first one to own one, I think.
Speaking of known,
David was. Yeah.
Speaking of known, he also got his Stream Deck from this channel. No, known.
I have
No?
won like
He's not here, but he.
I think I've won like over $100 from the giveaways here though.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. Hey, we got to give away this Friday too.
That's right.
With the podcast at the same time. I don't know what we're gonna do. Probably give it away after the podcast. So come back
At the
on Friday.
same time. Give it away on the podcast.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great. Yeah, I think, and we could talk. That's something we could talk about on one of the streaming podcasts, like things you should get, like things you need, things you like, tier 2 stuff that you should get after that, and then
Good,
like,
Mike.
superfluous thing. Yeah, superfluous things. So, anyways, okay. So let's get to the actual meat of this podcast, end of the year podcast. Surprisingly, there's one category here that we're going to merge together where we'll all talk about it because we all put the same thing, and that actually makes sense for the most part of why. But let's start off. I love doing best game of 2018 first, mostly because I like starting off with a good note. And I like starting off with a good note at the end, so that's why I have 2019 hype at the end. And we'll talk about best game of 2018 first. For me, I'll start off like usual, like we usually do. Let me switch to video cams, and I'll have to fix this for the podcast tomorrow night because, like I said, I
Fucked it.
I messed it up because I renamed my scenes to end of the year so I could have 3 separate ones instead of just one, and none of my buttons work right now because it's not named just podcast anymore. So I'll fix that hopefully tonight. So I have 2 games on my list, and the first one is Far Cry 5. So let me say this before anybody chastise me for not picking like some of the bigger games like God of War or any of that kind of stuff. First of all, I didn't play a lot of console exclusives because I'm not a big console guy. I want to play Red Dead. I want to play Spider-Man. I want to play God of War, but all those are exclusive to PS4, so I did not play them. Ironically, I have a PS4, but it's up here on my shelf, and I have to hook it to a TV, and then I have to hook it to something to stream, and I'm not doing it, okay? So I didn't play those games. They're not on my list, but don't worry. We got console guys coming out on Friday. I'm sure they're going to be on their lists. I know the streamer guys will probably have it on their list, so you'll get those games talked about. But my first game is Far Cry 5. I really like this game. And if you guys haven't played it, I recommend you go get it. I think it's a good game. I like how this is not correct on my screen. There we go. That's better. Anyways, I do like the open world environment of Far Cry, all the different weapons. The map is huge. I like that you can play a multiplayer. That's like a big thing in my list. You know, you guys may not know me well enough, but I really do like co-op games. And if I can play something co-op, it's already higher on my list than any single players. So even if I had played God of War or Spider-Man, they'd already probably not be on my list anyway.
So is this you actually driving? Because it sort of resembles your driving. But
I appreciate that, but it is not me. This is just a gameplay video. That looks exactly like probably how I would do it, but that's not me. I had a lot of good times, like some really good clips from this. Getting randomly attacked by animals in this game is hysterical. Especially like I have that cougar clip where I'm just like walking around and just get pounced by a cougar randomly. And y'all have probably seen a lot of those videos where like you see the NPC just like talking to another NPC and then just getting obliterated by a bear just randomly. There's a lot of really funny stuff that comes out of this game too. It doesn't like necessarily take itself so seriously like some of those other games, which I like as well. So Far Cry 5 is probably my favorite game of this year. My only, regret about Far Cry 5 is I did not play it multiplayer with enough people. I wish we would have got around to playing it a little more. And we may pick it up later to play it again with some people. Because I think, didn't you get it, Jiggly? And we played it like one time?
Far Cry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not 5. I only got 4.
Somebody else got it and I played with them like once. And
I thought it was Drew.
Was it? No, it wasn't Drew. I don't think. But anyway, nonetheless, I only played it with somebody else like one time, and I really wish that I could play with somebody else and kind of go through the game. So I may come back and visit this next year as well, just during all the other games that I'm sure we're gonna play. You can usually I could just rename my stream to guy who streams game one time and then never ever streams it again. I know I'm not selling my stream very well, but hey, I'm just trying to be honest. I don't play games all the way through sometimes. It happens. I'm very ADD when it comes to games. Anyway, so that's my game of the year for me. And then my runner up, I just want to speak about it real quick. That's Pathfinder Kingmaker. I also really like this game because it's a role-playing game. For those not familiar with Pathfinder, it is a tabletop RPG. And they basically converted this game from the tabletop into a computer game. And so a lot of the classes and everything that are in the RPG, the tabletop RPG, are in this game. It has a really neat combat system. Plus, it has like a kingdom building system, and like it even has unique systems for like camping and stuff. It's just really well put together, I think. And I think it's probably, to me, like, I think it's one of the better RPGs out there that came out this year. I'm aware that the new Pillars of Eternity or whatever came out this year. I still put this on top of that. So if you like RPGs, especially like turn-based, multi-party RPGs, I suggest you go out and look at this one because it's pretty cool. So that's my runner-up, which is Pathfinder Kingmaker. So
it surprises me you did this over Divinity 2.
Divinity 2 did not come out this year. So
I thought it came out this year.
No,
There's the
we just didn't play it.
edition that came out this year.
Yeah, Definitive Edition came out, so I guess it could have qualified, but
yeah, and so that would have been on my list for last year because it was a really good game. I definitely enjoyed Divinity, but we didn't play it until this year, right? We did our co-op this year.
We did our co-op this year,
so
which we need to do again for the definitive one, just so we can see the difference.
Yeah, because apparently there's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot better, and they added a lot of the stuff to it.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do that. But anyway, so that's another game I really like, Pathfinder Kingmaker. But Far Cry takes the top spot for me, mostly because it's a lot more action oriented. So it's just like a lot more faster paced game, and I like that. So those are my best games of 2018. Let's go into Jiggly's, which I'm glad you mentioned this one, but go ahead.
I gotta pull it up. Sorry. Boom. I have best game 2018 for me was Monster Hunter World. That shit was tight.
We played on PC. Just
yeah, it came out on PC this year. And
it came out It came out this year in general for both consoles, but we were just like 8 months
6 months behind.
Yeah. But yes, this is my favorite game of the year. I loved it. I wish more of us actually played it when we said we were going to play it. Made me sad.
Hey man, I'm still on it.
Granted, the online was pretty shitty for like the first week it was out for us. So
yeah, on PC there was a lot of connectivity issues. They finally fixed, but
they did fix it after about a week. Yeah. There was a quote unquote fix. It just didn't technically work for everybody all the time, but it did make it a lot better. But yeah, it was great. Me and Charlie played it pretty hardcore for about 2 or 3 weeks together. John and I played it back when it first came out. Yeah, me and John were playing a lot every day. But I meant like after everybody kind of died off, me and Charlie were still kind of grinding away at it. I haven't gotten back on it like probably a couple months now, at least 3 months. Just because I don't know why I should have, because now I missed all the event stuff. But whatever, it was great.
They got some new stuff coming out soon too.
And the holiday stuff is pretty dope.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was my favorite. Ooh, apparently I'm typing on accident.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a decent game. I got turned off of it. Well, first of all, I get turned off of MMO, and it's not an MMO, but like I get turned off of grinding games really fast. I like Monster Hunter, and it's fun, but like I can't go out and hunt the same thing over and over.
To be fair, they made it really convenient And
Yeah,
this one
this
compared
one's a
to
lot
the old
better
ones.
than the old ones for sure.
Yeah.
Like
The old
yeah.
ones, you like legit had to hunt that thing for like an hour every time. It
Yeah.
was dumb.
I do suggest if you've played the old ones and don't like them, you may still want to give this one a try because it is different enough, but it's still not for me. I did have a good time playing for the most part, and probably have a good time just like hopping on and playing here and there, but
Yeah.
just like trying to get that gear or whatever, it just wasn't down for me. So,
I feel you.
but yeah, I mean, I think it was a good game. I think a lot of people agree with you that it's one of the better games of this year as well. So. It's a good pick. I think it had a lot of cool things going for it. The crossovers in that game, my god, like there's some pretty good ones, you know. So
You can dress your cat up as Mega Man.
yeah, I mean there's some really
Which
cool
is
ones.
awesome.
Yeah, so
Final Fantasy.
that kind of stuff really gets me. The crossover stuff. That's why I love Blizzard games so much too, because they do that all the time. You know, obviously Smash is the ultimate one, you know, for all their crossover stuff, but
Yeah.
anyways, I don't know. So that kind of stuff I like that when you bring that into a game, it's really cool, you know. So that also, like, for some reason that makes like it makes it a less serious game in my mind, just because like if you're like playing a hardcore RPG, a lot of times they're not going to do those crossovers because they want you to be like in the element a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kind of lets you know that they kind of take a step back and like, hey, look, we can put like some silly stuff in here. It's not like necessarily a hardcore role playing.
It's not just grind all the time.
Yeah. So
There's still some fun. Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. So, anyways, so it was pretty cool. So that was
It was a good
for
time.
you, huh? Those
Yeah.
Monster
Best
Hunter
game.
World.
Best game of the year.
I think that's.
Rough.
Give us 2 seconds, guys. I pressed the podcast button on my deal. Yeah. All right, guys. Sorry. 1 sec. Technical difficulties. This menu before I screw it up again. Okay, there we go. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So we'll move on and we'll go to. I gotta remember how to click up here instead of pressing the buttons. We'll move on to Tarnis's best game of 2018, and just before we say it, this is also Davici's, so let's we'll back and forth on this one.
Okay.
But
I'm going to start from the backside first.
okay, whatever you want to do, it's your moment. So,
Console, even though I do not own the console that this was on, Detroit Becoming Human, or Become Human, or whatever the hell it's called.
okay, yeah.
I didn't even play it. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even play the game. I watched a stream, and I watched the entire stream, the entire playthrough, and it was probably by far the best story-driven gameplay I've seen in a long time.
We watched two very different streams.
Well,
Mine was over in about 10 minutes.
to be honest with you, before we get too far into this, it depends on the streamer.
Yeah. No,
I really
They were going out of the way to, like, screw it up. It was pretty funny.
I really think that it does depend on the streamer. So I like the fact. This is a tangent we may not want to go on to, but we may want to put a podcast on this one. You know, when you're watching streams, I like the fact that you can still enjoy the content. Especially like in a game like this that Tarnis is talking about. He got to watch it all the way through, and basically he didn't necessarily experience the game in himself, but he got you know, a lot out of the game. But that totally, like, that's a big thing. It depends on the streamer in that case. You know, when somebody else is playing it, it just depends on how they play games, if it aligns with how you play games. And that's something we can get into at some point. But yeah, I get your point. Like, one guy, 10 minutes. The other guy loved it because, you know, the streamer was great.
Oh,
you know,
no,
so.
not only that, I think the most hilarious thing is he played it, and it was like all the way up until the end, and he completely fucked up the ending.
Oh, yeah.
He completely, like, it's like, okay, this happened, and they all died? What?
Yeah.
And he's like...
Yeah, he got the same ending as the guy I watched, and my guy did in 10 minutes. My guy's just a speedrunner.
And it was just like, I mean, the story was done. Didn't it just win the game? What was that game show award thing? That was
For
like
narrative or something.
Yeah,
Like best narrative game or
Something
something like that.
recently. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a reason why it won.
It's
was a
really
very-
good, yeah.
It was a very, very well done story, and I normally don't like single player games, and I especially do not like watching single player games because I don't want the story ruined for me. But since it was a PlayStation exclusive, and I don't own a PlayStation, I said, "Fuck it, I'll try watching it," and it was phenomenal.
Cool. That's a good one.
Then we're gonna go to pen and paper.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
If you watched the Dungeons and Dragons stream last time,
It's on YouTube if you want to watch it.
yep, Dungeon of the Mad Mage was my most favorite and most hated release for pen and paper this year.
I was gonna say it's like such a love hate for Tarnus on that book. Yeah, it's just like best book of the year, also terrible. But
Yep,
but all good.
it does what it needs to. It gives me a lot more content, but I also hate it for reasons. But yeah, again, that's my best pen and paper book. And then I'm gonna let DeVeggie do this one.
Which one?
I'll
What?
let you start off on your game of the year. But this is shared by both DeVG and Tarnus.
However, you specifically put Betrayal. Is there a reason why you put Betrayal?
Mainly because of everything they were fixing. They fixed the master system, the crafting system. They made them to the point where I really like the master system instead of having to grind every single one to level 8 now.
Yeah. I don't know. For that aspect, yeah, like I agree that's really good. If we didn't say it already, the thing that we both put was Path of Exile.
Yeah,
Which
there you
realistically didn't launch this year, but it's one of those living sort of games, sort of like Warframe, where
Yeah.
like they just do really big updates where it's almost like a new fucking game in itself. Yeah, so I agree with those points, like 100%. Yeah, all the crafting system, all the innate changes that they've done. However, if we had to go based off league content purely that they added, I'm gonna go with like Delve, 100%. So.
What's the latest
Betrayal
one?
has Delve.
Betrayal is the latest one. Delve is the one right before Betrayal, which has the endless fucking thing, pretty much.
Okay.
And then there was Incursion, I believe, before that.
There's an Incursion before that, which didn't end up making it into the game until this league.
But that's all this year only, right? Everything that you've talked
All
about.
of those are this year, yeah.
So
So
that
it's-
gives you an idea of how living this game is. I mean, they're doing a ton of updates. to
Yeah,
it
they do
constantly.
big content updates every 3 fucking months.
And this is
huge.
and this stuff's crazy. Like the Betrayal stuff had like whole new. It's like whole new systems. It's not just like we added a new map. Like
it's like whole new fucking items, whole new like skills, whole new shit to the tree, new maps, like new bosses. Like they had. Ooh, I just got bopped, in fact. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
like they just add a lot of shit, and like I said, for as far as the core gameplay, like the masters and all the fucking crafting and shit, I agree with Tardas 100%. Betrayal League, like they did a lot. However, as far as like what they've added, they added Delve to it, which was the Endless Dungeon, and they added Incursion to it as well, which took a lot of the grind out of the grind. So it was a lot of, before it was just you do maps, you do maps, you do maps, you do maps. Whereas now they have all these things that are like, you can have, go do your Delve for a little bit, go do this for a little bit. You know, it's just really comfortable as to like, sort of break up the grind a little bit. Which, I don't care about grind, obviously. I'm like the grind person as this group, like, if anyone's heard anything from these guys. But like, it's been super nice to get out of that grind a little bit in that form. So yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I definitely like the distraction from grinding. It's like, oh yeah, I can do this. Oh, I can do this. What about this?
We're gonna get into this later, and also I think I want to have a podcast on this, and we'll talk about it later. I'm looking for a new home now that we
Diablo.
have no clue when Diablo actually will come out with a 4. So we'll talk about that in a minute. No, a little bit of a spoiler there, But there's a couple games I've been watching, and obviously PoE is probably the best quality one right now. But there's some other ones too, so I might want to do a podcast on that as well. We're just getting all kinds of ideas for next year coming up. So
Yeah.
anyways, so I agree. Like, this is a cool game. I played a little bit when I saw you guys streaming it a bunch. I love to play this in little doses. But again, it's one of those that once you get to the end game, it's basically, it's like any ARPG. There's no fault of PoE, but it gets grindy, which is fine. So anyways, I like it. You guys obviously Game of the Year it. With those constant updates, there's no reason why this game shouldn't be like up there in the ranks of Game of the Year. It's like it has more support than a lot of actual MMOs, like as far as content, updates. So
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. So it's a good pick, I think.
And
So,
they're free.
Yeah, it didn't cost you anything. So yeah, I love the way they do the store where it's pretty much cosmetic. That's all good stuff, So good pick. I like it. I like it a lot. So anyways, cool. Well, let's so that's our biggest games of 2018. Recap. Mine was Far Cry, Pathfinder Kingmaker as my secondary, and then we got Monster Hunter World for Jiggly, and then for Tarnus and Luigi, Path of Exile, and Tarnus also is like Detroit Become Human. And what's cool about that one being in his Game of the Year, like best game of 2018, what's so nice about that? Okay, guys, I love you guys. Real quick, I'm gonna pause for a second because I had Known come in here and host us for 25. Then he decided to cheer 100, and then he also did you sub? Something else happened, and then Kovic just dropped 5 subs on me at the same time. So you guys, I appreciate you. I'm sorry that the notifications aren't on, but that's just because we're on the podcast. I am seeing it though. I love you guys. Well, somebody hosted. Oh, Kovic hosted. Okay, that's what it was. I was like, who hosted me for 25? Kovic. My bad. Anyways. Okay, sorry. Anyways. So, what I do like about Detroit Become Human, specifically from Tarnus, is that he watched a streamer do it. And what I like about that is that's what we do. A lot of us are streamers. A lot of you guys watching are streamers. And the fact that somebody can enjoy a game and put it on their Game of the Year list because you streamed it and you made it a great game for them. That's one of the reasons why you stream, guys. It's great. I think that's a testament of what streaming does for people. And a lot of these communities are awesome, and it's really cool to just see something like that be, a thing that's happening now. Like, people are like, this game was great. I didn't play it though. I just watched this guy play it, and it was awesome. And it's just really cool to talk about that, So I'm glad you put that in there, Tarnus. I did not know that's what happened, and it's really cool to just hear about that sort of thing. So maybe one day we'll be there, Tarnus. We'll be there, and somebody will be like, man, I watched the game that Tarnus played. It was amazing. It was my game of the year. Be like, sweet.
Well, actually, I just got an Elgato HD 60 Pro. So.
Oh boy, you're gonna be streaming some. Well, you got that because you're gonna do a dual streaming rig soon, right?
Hopefully soon. I actually just sent my computer off to Starground because his died.
Oh, hey, that's cool though. Hey, that's what friends are for, right there. So
yeah,
get Tarnus some headphones. He wants headphones. All right. Let's move on. Okay, best games of 2018 done. Let's go to most surprising news of 2018. Okay, so this is a 2-for-1, and so I may skip it. What else do we have for most surprising? Okay, let's talk. I'm going to skip mine for a minute because it kind of leads into our biggest disappointments. So let's talk about Jiggly's first. So Jiggly, let's talk about your most surprising news of 2018 for you.
So it's kind of hard to really pick something because I didn't think there was a whole lot that happened this last year in gaming, which is just because I'm oblivious to most of what happened in gaming.
That's fine.
So
Perfectly fine here.
Being someone who is I watch a lot of streamers and I kind of use them as a median of what games I play. and why I play them. I thought it was surprising, kind of. Not really, though. But I did think it was surprising at the time that Summit 1G, Doc, and Shroud basically all quit streaming PUBG full-time, like, in the same week. Like, it all happened in the same week, which is what surprised me. I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't think it was going to be all the same exact time. It was kind of crazy. I think Summit did it first. Doc was already talking about it, because once Ring of Elysium came out, Doc was like, fuck this game. I don't like PUBG anymore. Even Wadu and Viz did? I didn't know that.
I mean, a lot of people are.
A lot of them are, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of options now. Although some people would claim, like Kovic here, who's sub-bombing the hell out of me right now. Kovic would claim that the alternatives are trash, but hey, we're not here to talk about...
They're not great.
We're not here to talk about Kovic's opinion right now. We might talk about it tomorrow when he's on the podcast, but these guys are like, hey, we would rather play the alternatives because they're just such better quality, you know?
Yeah, and then once the beta for Black Ops came out, it was game over. I mean, that took all of them. Like that, every big name streamer that was playing PUBG at the time, except for Choco Taco, immediately just switched. They're like, "Fuck this game."
Well, and to be fair, these guys did play. They took PUBG down as their main. They did play Black Ops for a few weeks, quite a good stance,
like,
but they're not
non-stop.
Let's talk about this. They're not playing anymore because I think it still has a lot of problems. Which, to Kovic's point, because this is one of his points, there's a lot of things wrong with those games. You know, and so they've moved on, but they've moved on to stuff like Battlefield,
Destiny 2.
Yeah, and they're just like playing other games now because they also aren't big fans of PUBG right now, just because of some of the issues it's had. So. I get what you're saying as far as that's very surprising to you, because these guys started and got their, made their money on these games, for quite a few months. So, but yeah.
No, I just thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
So that was my most surprising thing.
That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
And most of it was like, whenever they talk about it, most of them are just like, they're just not fixing the game. Like, they're making content, but not fixing. Why make a skin for a gun if your game's not going to be played anymore? Like, that was what I thought was interesting. Anyway,
why add dances?
Although Shroud did just play the test server, and he likes the new changes they've done. They've done a lot of good things, and he's kind of happy with it now. So he might be coming back to play.
If you haven't played that new map yet, you need to go play it. Now they're doing the patch tonight, I believe. So the new patches will have the new map on the
live tomorrow.
So so you'll be able to play it live soon. So, but we played it the past week, and it's been really fun. So it's very crisp. Like, it's one of the best maps I've seen. That, like, I haven't had any problems, no drop. I'm getting packet loss, which is concerning, right? But I feel like it's because it's on the test server.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because of the map or anything.
Right.
That's just my opinion there. But anyways, everything else seems to be fine. I haven't had any issues with it. So, like, they did really good work on the new map.
That's good.
I'm just hoping that continues and spreads out throughout the rest of the game.
The game engine too. Like, they changed some stuff in the game, which is good.
Yeah. So, anyways, okay. So that was yours, Tarnus. We're skipping you because it's kind of under the same lines as mine, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we will still move to Daviji. What was your most surprising news of 2018?
Oh, man. First was just the fact that Battle Royales got so big.
Like that everybody was doing one, or that they were still around? Like,
the fact that they beat out what was the top of Twitch, which was League. And, like, the fact that they've held it. Like, the fact that something that most people are like, oh, it's just a phase, it's just a fad, it's just a fad.
Mm-hmm.
Just became the top and then stayed the top is just sort of interesting.
It is interesting, but I also, we'd have to go back and look at this, but I feel like I think that's how gaming's just kind of been. Like, you get something, you think it's a fad, but then it sticks. It sticks for a while, and then some new thing's going to come out, and that obviously replace this. But I think this is really something we should
Expect
nowadays, because I think that's just how it's going to be from now on. It's just like some new cool thing comes out, everybody makes their version of it, people are on it for a few years, and then they're like, okay, next.
Yeah. And then my second thing was also related to like what was the top, which is League of Legends. They had World Championship this year, and Korea for the first time since season 1 was completely knocked out before semis, which was that was dope.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So people not in the scene may not know what that means, but all you need to really know is it's crazy.
It's big. Yeah, like the fact that NA made it to semis and Korea didn't. That's good. It's good.
Tarnish, you gotta stand up and let people see your onesie real quick.
Is he wearing it again?
No, this is a different one. The last onesie he had was the Twitch one, I think.
Why does he have so many onesies?
we're not gonna talk about why he has so many onesies, but hey, whatever floats your boat, buddy. I'm okay with it.
Just be glad this onesie doesn't have the little back butt flap.
Oh boy. So exciting.
Should I be glad about that?
Cool. So let's talk about then mine and Tarnis's most surprising news. And then we're going to directly, because of this surprising news, we're going to directly go into biggest disappointment, which I think it's on everyone's list, right?
Yeah.
All right. So mine and Tarnis's most surprising news is the Diablo Immortal announcement.
Not just the announcement, his fucking reaction.
With the reaction, okay? And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then we're also going to talk about, because this is also on our biggest disappointment for 2018, which is Diablo Immortal, which I think was on everyone's list.
Yeah.
Disappointment. Yeah, it's on all 4 of our lists. And then we do have a second one, and like Kovic pointed out, it's Fallout 76, which we'll talk about here in a second as well. But let's talk about Diablo Immortal first of all. They've been hinting that there's going to be a Diablo here and there for a while. They did in a blog post say that it's not going to be Diablo 4. I can't remember. It was a few weeks before BlizzCon. So the communication there was in a blog post. They said that, and that's fine. I think a lot of people then thought that it was going to be an HD remake of 2 or something of that sort, or even an expansion for 3. Although after watching a lot of videos about this, there's a very interesting turn of events that happened where the expansion for 3 got canceled. We won't go into that, but we thought it would be something like HD remake. Not what it was. Expansion for 3, not a mobile game for your phone. A full-fledged, supposedly full-fledged Diablo, new lore, all that kind of stuff in a mobile game. That just blew everyone away. I went to BlizzCon this year, my first year to go. I was super excited, especially about the Diablo stuff, because out of all the Blizzard games, I love all the Blizzard games. I think Diablo's my favorite. More or less because I think that's the game I probably played the most as a kid. And so I was super excited there was going to be some crazy announcement for Diablo. And then when we get to the announcement, it's a phone game. My fun for that day was over. I had we had the thing. It was opening announcements. Then I was going to go to the Diablo question and answer. The Diablo, what's next? All these, different panels for Diablo. When we got done with opening announcements, I was like, hey, I was there with my buddy Charlie. And I was like, what do y'all want to do after this? And he was like, do you not want to go to all these Diablo things? I'm like, no, it's for a phone game. What the hell? So that's kind of the thing. It really hit me pretty hard. The things we were talking about, though, that Tarnis was talking about, is the aftermath was actually kind of funny for a lot of people, obviously.
Yeah.
But the guy who did the April Fool's thing, that was great. And then Tarnis, I think you put in the phone thing, right?
Oh, I can't remember if it was either the April Fool. It wasn't the April
No, it was
Fool's
the other guy, and he basically said, "Hey, are you just gonna make this for phones, are you planning on putting this on PC at some point?
Yeah.
And then that's when what's his face was like, what did he say, Tarnus?
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah,
Y'all have phones, right? I was like, really?
yeah. It was
Yeah.
like, do you guys not have phones? And I'm like, wow, okay, guy. Like, and I think they kind of were in a panic mode. I'm not sure. I think they might. Go ahead.
The funniest part about it was the fact that he was like the fucking community lead. Like he's the guy who's supposed to be able to talk to the community, and yet he's the one who's reacting like that, which I thought was the craziest part about that.
Yeah, so excuse me. So I think he was just taken aback a little bit by how negative it was.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't quite sure how to respond. And I mean that happens. I mean, you're gonna have times like that. But I mean, you're announcing a phone game to be honest with you, most people who play
very
your games,
PC heavy.
they're playing PC, and this has been talked about everywhere. So if you want to go look at that stuff, you can. We just wanted to bring it up because it is our most surprising news and our biggest disappointment this year. So
Just as an aside,
yeah,
the PoE League that was now called Betrayal was originally going to be called PoE Immortal League.
yeah,
The NPCs in it are called the Immortal Syndicate and everything. They changed it to a week before the Diablo announcement to Betrayal, which I think fits better now.
mm-hmm.
And they even added a line for Einhard that says, Exile, you do have nets, right? And I just think it's the funniest fucking thing.
There's the memes on the phone thing are still going on now. It's great. I mean, what came
Yeah.
out of this meme wise was ridiculous. But anyways, it's just one of those things. It's rough. That's definitely my biggest disappointment this year. It's on my list. It's on Tarnus's list. It's on
my
Jiggly's list.
list.
It's on Ian's list. It's on all our lists this year. It's on a lot of people's lists this year. To be honest with you, I played it on the phone on the demo at BlizzCon. It's not bad. The thing is if they would announce this at some other time or like not hype this up so much to be like this big
Yeah.
awesome release, I think it would have been fine. Just been like, hey, we're gonna release a mobile game. You know, it's for Diablo. You know, check it out. Cool. But like, as it being like my meat and potatoes for the next like however long until I get an actual Diablo announcement, no, thank you.
Here's why I think like the biggest issue with it was the last thing they announced. It's supposed to be their biggest announcement, and
Right.
there was no word about Diablo 4. Like they could have done what the fuck Bethesda did with Skyrim or whatever the fuck.
And we talked about
Elder
this
Scrolls.
because we did one of our podcasts
Yeah.
was the BlizzCon one, and we were like, look,
Like,
they could have
all they
just
had
put
to
the
do-
Diablo 4 logo up and said,
Yeah.
"Ta-da!" You know, and that's it. And everybody was
That's
like,
all
"Yeah!"
they had to do. Like they didn't have to give us a date or anything.
Yeah.
Just tell us the fact that it's cut. Fuck, dude. That's the real like disappointing part about it. Is the fact that like they don't give us any hope that it is coming. Period.
Yeah.
Like
So-
that's why I'm so disappointed about it.
Yeah, or they should have just knocked it away because I think also one of the other big announcements they had was that they're doing the remaster for Warcraft 3.
Warcraft 3, yeah, and
That-
like
that's awesome.
That was well received.
They probably should have put that on the end instead of Diablo.
Like even the HOTS fucking announcement, the fact that they're not just gonna have they're gonna make original characters for it. Even that was more well received than the fucking Diablo Immortal.
Which is weird, you know, that HOTS thing, and now we got the news that they're going into maintenance mode. I'm like, okay, what a weird time to say that after you've just released like this new character and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it's-
that's a whole nother subject we could talk about as well at some point.
for sure. Yeah.
But so that one, and then so I have Fallout 76 on my biggest disappointment of 2018, but probably not for what you think. And also, I'm not sure on Tarnus's, so I'm not going to speak for him. But we may have the same thing. So Tarnus, I'm going to have you start Fallout biggest disappointment of 2018, and tell me your reasons why.
Okay. First off, it's literally a copy paste clone of Fallout 4. And
For
it's-
assets,
it's-
yeah. Okay.
For assets. I mean, it comes down to even the graphics glitch for reloading the lever action rifle.
Okay.
That was in Fallout 4. Guess what? It's again, your thumb elongates and just pops a bullet into the fucking lever action. It's like, okay, so you've basically just copy and pasted Fallout 4 and
Okay.
added multiplayer.
Okay.
Then they got, was it the biggest Fallout right now is what was it, the duffel kerfuffle, because I hate putting gate on anything.
Yeah, I got you. Yep.
And then, because they were basically saying fuck off from their customer service reps.
Well, so
online.
in that one, yeah, so and this is what I'm getting at here. I actually don't mind Fallout 76 as the game is.
Yeah.
For what it is. The problem is a lot of people who think Fallout think of a very heavily story-based game, and I don't think a lot of people pay attention. And I'm not saying this is you, Tarnus. I'm just saying there's a lot of people out there who are angry because they thought Fallout was basically going to be Fallout with multiplayer, but that's not what they needed to think, obviously. I like Fallout for what it is. It's a survival multiplayer game with Fallout like assets. Okay, so you more have to think like it's more like not necessarily Rust. I think it's probably closer to like a Conan in gameplay style, but it's just a survival game that looks like Fallout, and that's that's how you should play that game. You should not expect anything else from that. And I like that. I like it for what it is for that reason. But all these things that Tarnus is starting to talk about right now, that revolve around Fallout, unfortunately, revolve around Fallout 76, but really is a big disappointment from Bethesda, really, not necessarily Fallout 76, is what he's talking about. And that first one that he was talking about with the bags, they originally showed a canvas bag, turned out to be like a plastic bag.
It even said canvas bag.
Yeah, it turned out to be a plastic bag.
It was nylon.
Until 2 weeks after it came out.
And they were like, too bad. Then they were like, we'll give you like $5 store credit.
$7.
No.
It was 500 coins. It ended up being $7 store credit, which is worth a door and 2 things of flowers. That's all you can buy with it.
Which wasn't even enough for a canvas bag in game.
Yeah, that was funny. And then I think now, didn't they finally make those bags?
They said they did, and then there's now reports of a bunch of them being lost in transit.
Oh, okay, cool. So there's that. And then what else do we have, Tarnus?
The biggest thing that's been hitting right now is the trade exploit, which is you basically run up to somebody, say, hey, I want to trade. So I want to trade with you, Pyro. And you accept. So whatever you had in your hand when we're trading, your nice legendary weapons, all that, I just hit when you zero out on your... So basically, you're about to start looking at my stuff. I can just say, no, I want 0 credits, and then back out of the trade and cancel it. I have now stolen your legendary weapons that you're holding in your hand.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's just complete, and they've known about that since the beta.
Yeah,
it's rough. Them fixing that kind of stuff really needs to be, priority. And the fact that they have bugs in there that are still like that even now, that's a rough thing to defend. Like I don't have much I could say about it, And so those game-breaking bugs are obviously a disappointment there, especially in a game like that, a survival game where you put in a lot of time to get those sort of things. So that makes sense. They also had the help desk hack where it gave other people all your information. That was rough and hard to do. So I mean, it just hasn't gone well for Bethesda and Fallout 76 together over the past couple of months since it came out. It's been rough.
The weird thing about it, it's almost like they don't understand how to deal with a multiplayer game like that. Like, you could argue that they don't know how to do multiplayer games at all, but ESO isn't innately bad. Like, ESO has been controlled pretty well. So, like, you can't say that, they don't know how to do multiplayer games. Well, no, they do. They have one. It works really well.
Yeah.
I think it's the fact that it's that type of multiplayer game that they don't really know what the fuck, like, the normal protocol is.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And then the last thing, and again, this is just rumor mill, but they're probably going, from what I've heard, they're going back on their basically promise to say, oh yeah, by the way, our microtransactions are only going to be cosmetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. So that's kind of overall a disappointment. I think the game's all right. There's nothing wrong with the game per se, except for obviously bugs. Bugs need to be fixed. But to me, bugs, while they hurt the game, yes. I don't normally judge a game by its bugs unless they're going to stay there forever. So when they still have these problems 2 months later, yeah, that's part of the judgment. But I like to think that the developer is going to fix those, and so I can't necessarily judge the game by them completely. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I mean, the problem is that it's left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths for so long now that it may not have a chance, especially when they're like, oh, we got everything fixed. People may not come back and play it. It's unfortunate, having all those type of issues. So,
well, it doesn't really matter. They already have people's money.
That's true.
Yeah.
You got that right. So, anyways, that's that. I mean, I just agree. It's one of those things just disappointing in general. Just how a lot of things have been handled. So,
sorry, I want to just bring up one more thing. 2 weeks after the game came out, Black Friday, how much did the game go for sale?
$35.
I think it was $35 as the cheapest it was.
Because all of the stores were scared out of their mind, thinking that they were not going to be able to sell all of their stock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There you go. Well, so that was kind of our biggest disappointment. Mostly Diablo Immortal.
Yeah.
I love Blizzard and pretty much any game they've ever put out, and I'm like, they can do no wrong. But this one's been rough, and I'm gonna blame it because I can. I gotta find an excuse. Since they've been bought out by Activision, they've been making some sketchy changes here and there that don't really look at the light of the fans. So I'm blaming it on Activision. Before then, they had a good record. Now they're starting to fuck up. I don't like it. So we'll see. It's one of those things. Well, it's one of those things that you kind of have to deal with because it's happened. It's not going to unhappen. So we'll see how they do. But anyways, let's talk about some 2019 hype. Get this thing closed out.
Now we've got all the rough shit.
Yeah, we went through the rough shit. Let's get to some good stuff again. I'm gonna do like one, and then I'm gonna let the other guys talk about stuff because I have 3 games that are like at the top of my list. There's a ton of games in 2019 I'm excited for. But obviously, if we talked about all the games we were excited for, we'd be here all night. So
I think all of us have 3 except for Dev Edgy.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like I'm glad
I'll just talk on yours.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think this is?
Yeah, it's a back and forth, so that's fine. And I think that's the point. A lot of these games we probably all are excited about. So these are mine. My top 3. Man, I should really talk to in the highest to lowest, shouldn't I? So my number 1, I think for me for next year. I don't know how surprising this is to anybody. Is Doom Eternal. Just watching the gameplay. So I really liked Doom. Let me start out with that. Really liked Doom. It was an awesome game. I loved it to pieces. It's actually one of those games I finished. So that should tell you something. I don't finish a lot of games. Eternal just looks like Doom, except for turned up to 20 instead of 10. It's ridiculous. You got like a grappling hook now, so you can just grappling hook to enemies. It's crazy. Like I just watching the gameplay in this game. It looks amazing.
Keep in mind, this is an E3 demo. Just saying.
Yeah, I get it. But I'm super excited for this. So I'm hoping it's gonna be awesome and everything they say they're gonna be. And that comes out next year, and so it's my top game. I can't wait to play this. I want to play it multiplayer, please. Anyone?
I don't know if we can handle that.
Anyone? All right. Anyway, so Doom Eternal's mine. That's my top hype game for next year. I know there's probably plenty of games that have crazy stories, and Devil May Cry 5, which is like a beloved series. I'm not a huge series guy per se, I guess, because I don't play a lot of them. But hey, whatever. Doom Eternal, that's me. I'm down. I'm so excited. I'm ready. I'm ready to kill demons in all different kinds of ways. Especially with this new sword. It's so awesome. I want it. I want it yesterday. So that's my first game. I don't know about you guys. You guys want any Doom Eternal in your life?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't play the first one. I've watched people play it. It looks fun as fuck. My favorite thing to watch is like the speedrunners. So I'm excited to see like the speedrun for the game. For being honest,
my goodness.
more than anything.
And we talk about this almost every podcast, and we have to do it next year. We need to do a speedrun podcast.
I'm down.
Because like I also love speedruns, and some of the glitches that these guys do and find are mind blowing.
Doom is just one of the most fun ones to watch. That and Mirror's Edge are my favorite ones to watch.
Yeah, well, and like Doom is already like a fast paced game, so then they make it even faster, obviously.
Yeah.
I just love.
It's just dumb.
Yeah,
I love it.
So we're gonna have to do a podcast on that this year too. And we're just gonna have to start like typing out and just start going down the list because it's great. Anyways, Doom Eternal, awesome. I'm ready. Bring it to me, baby. So that's my first.
Put it in my butt.
That's my first one for this year. Jiggly, I know the next one. It's your baby. So you want to start with that one?
Oh, I'm gonna add one.
I mean, yeah. I've been waiting too long for this game. Kingdom Hearts 3, baby. Oh yeah. I'm gonna drop $600 on that PS4 and everything.
Oh yeah. So I just want to say one thing before you start talking about it. What happens if for some reason it gets delayed again? That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the rage.
If it gets delayed.
Here's the thing. They've actually said that they're thinking it's going to come out early.
Ooh.
Is it because I got that leaked copy and they just want damage control?
There's that too.
Yeah, that guy, he's fucking shit up.
All right. Anyway, so
I'm surprised that wasn't Jiggly's like biggest disappointment. It was delayed
until the next year.
2018.
Yeah.
Nah, it's cool. That game looks fucking good.
It's been delayed so many times that he's just used to it now. He's like,
yeah,
he's
that's
immune
not
to it.
disappointing.
He's
It's been
immune to
delayed.
pain.
It's been delayed for 12 years. At this point, whatever. Like, I'm not holding my breath. It was supposed to come out for the PS3 originally. Is what it was supposed to come out for.
And so, like, I understand the appeal of this game because, first of all, it's kind of like a lot of games we play and that a lot of games we get excited for. Something that you've played, like, in your childhood.
Oh, yeah.
Always holds, like, a special place in your heart. That's why we're still, to this day, I'm still playing games that claim to be like UO. It's why we're playing, like, Legends of Aria.
Legends of Aria, yeah.
I grew up with UO, and I love UO, and I want something like UO. And it's like, nothing ever quite scratches that itch. And so when you have like an actual successor, so this is Kingdom Hearts 3, it's not like some game that claims to be like Kingdom Hearts. You get real excited because hopefully they stay true to the game.
Dope.
Yeah, and so I understand the hype for these type of games for sure. So, anyways, go ahead.
I'm still waiting for a Tactics game to come out.
And they did such a good job, like with the things that I've seen and the trailers they put out. They're doing a real good job. It looks
real good.
That guy who
the fact that Donald Duck is just holding a Glock.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I did see that screenshot the other day. That was pretty funny.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Anyways.
He's always got that thing on him, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, man, I'm just fucking excited.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
And
even if it sucks, I don't care. Still gonna play it.
You're gonna go all out and get the collector's edition PlayStation too, right?
I'm gonna get the collector's PlayStation that comes with the deluxe edition Kingdom Hearts, and then I'm
you
also
can
gonna
pre-order it.
Yeah, I just can't afford it right now. And then I'm also gonna buy the regular game. I'm just not gonna open the deluxe edition. I'm just gonna keep
that's
it.
Cool. Yeah, why not?
Fuck it.
Yep.
With as much as they've squeezed out of the previous games, and you got like 2.5 and 1.5 and
oh my god,
1.5 HD,
Birth by Sleep, 2.5 remix, HD remix, the card game one, which
they finally actually have the
Kingdom Hearts
sequel,
3.
So that's good too. That's good. All right,
finally got that shit.
A little bit of Kingdom Hearts action.
Stoked.
Tarnus,
anyway.
are these in the order you want to talk about?
Yes.
All right. Let's go on. Let's move on to Tarnus's first.
Mine's in the opposite order.
That's fine. Thank you for telling me. Go ahead.
I would have to go with Tom Clancy's The Division 2. I mean, Sargram, myself, Dion, we all basically grew up on the division. That's how we started playing together. And it was just hours and hours and hours of entertainment for me and everyone else. It was a shooter MMO, and I loved it.
So this game, I am excited for. It's not on my list because I didn't have a great time in Division, mostly because of a lot of the beginning game issues. But apparently, all that was fixed later. It's just like one of those games where I got turned off, and I was like, I'm just not going to play it again. So I'm hoping Division 2 has all those fixes already in it, and then I'll get to play it. Also, the location's a little more appealing to me, the new location. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna get it and probably play. We'll see how it goes this time. But this is definitely a good pick. I'm sure a lot of people are excited for this.
I think it hurt us too, David, because we saw like the old E3 trailer where like they had the drone and shit, and like it was really dope.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
And it looked
like,
just
the
fucking
drone,
bad. And then it came out, and we were just like, oh.
well,
Oh,
also like
that?
the drone guy, like the way they were touting it, you could play on your tablet and you could be the drone guy.
Yeah, like you just be like,
And so if you didn't have
Somewhere
access to
different.
your PC, you could be like actually
The drone
still
guy,
playing
yeah.
with people. So it was really
And, like,
neat. But
I get why they didn't do it because they're like, well, the PvP wouldn't be fair because you would just have a guy on a drone, and they're like, yeah, but the PvP fucking wasn't fair in regard, like to begin with. Like,
in the
PvP was
beginning,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to say I would have had my iPad right here.
Oh,
helping
yeah.
the shit out of me. While I'm playing.
Yeah. Well, the drone didn't do anything but spot people for you.
Yeah.
It literally just tagged them so you could see them through a wall. That's all.
No, there was some heal. I swear there were some healing buffs that it
Oh.
dropped down.
Definitely didn't. I guarantee it.
I now have
Well,
to.
in the video,
You can go watch the trailer. It didn't do anything.
in the trailer, it could have done anything. It doesn't matter because
That's fair. Yeah. But
But
that was
hey.
like the biggest. That was the biggest like hype loss that we had, me and you. I remember
Yeah,
that
for sure.
because we were like, oh, the drone's fake news. And we're like, that sucks.
So that comes out Division 2. That's Tarnus's. So you have a friend bond there, and that makes a lot of sense. You know, it's like where you first met some of your
I mean,
best buds that you play with to this day, for sure. I know
yeah,
you
and
Sargon
not
play
only
everything.
that. I mean, I grew up on. Oh, Rip the Bullet King. I don't know if any of you ever. You know the story about the Bullet King in the Division.
Nope.
No.
There was there was like this glitch in the Division where you could keep farming the boss called the Bullet King at this corner of this intersection in the city, and it was farmed for like 2 weeks solid of people
Jesus.
just constantly going. You could get going, and eventually it got patched out, and it was like memed so much that somebody went to the exact intersection that you could find it in New York City, and they put a picture of like the Bullet King, and next thing you know, like there was like 50 sets of flowers all around
Nice.
the picture of
Nice.
the fucking Bullet King. It's like, okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so Division 2, that's a good pick, I think. I'm pretty excited. Like, I'll definitely want to play it. I don't know.
Because it's coming out for PC, like, on launch, too, I think, right? Supposedly.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's correct. So, and that I think I just saw the date for that. So that's in March. So that'll be good. That's pretty quick. Pretty quick turnaround. Cool. Well, all right. What about you, WG?
Mine's actually the new Dragon Age. If it comes out in 2019, since they haven't technically given a date for it, there's not much to it.
Yeah, I don't know if they
Like,
have a. Did they have a?
They don't really have a name. It's the thing that they showed was something Dark Wolf or the Grey Wolf or the Black. Oh fucking Dire Wolf.
I
So
found it.
shit.
I found it.
Anyway, if it comes out in 2019, hype because
The
fucking
problem
love
is
this game.
since they just announced it at the Game Awards, which was like
Who the
a couple of
fuck
weeks ago.
knows? Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really have a timetable for it. I mean, if it comes out in 2019, awesome. Like, great.
The thing is, like, fuck, who is it that made the game? Anyway, the developers of the game, they've been, like, hinting at it for a while.
Yeah.
Like, even specifically said, yes, there will be a game, we don't know when the fuck it's gonna come out, though.
Yeah.
Or when we're going to actually, like, announce it, so, yeah. But
Yeah,
if it comes
well,
out in 2019, hype. Because, I don't know, that's just one of my favorite, like,
that's
single-player
risky
story
business to-
RPG.
it's risky business to be hyped about a game that has no release date.
I don't care. The fact that it was announced to me, I love it.
I have one of those too.
Hey,
Yeah,
and we're
you
hyped
do.
about that kind of stuff. I'm not saying you can't be hyped about it, because we've definitely been hyped about these type of games before.
Oh yeah, no.
and then
One of
it's
the
like
ones on
3
his
years
list
later.
I'm hyped about. So yeah.
It's like 3 years later and it's still not out yet. So, okay, cool. So if Dragon Age comes out, I mean, I'd be down. I'm down for that game too. So
I played the fuck out of Inquisition. I played the fuck out of Origins. Like
I
oh
didn't
my
like
God.
the second one as much, so that was kind of my downfall on Dragon Age. I love the first one. You know what?
Love the
We bought Inquisition at one point. I think it was on sale, and then I haven't played it. I haven't played
Pretty
Inquisition.
good, man. It's a pretty good game.
Because we were gonna play it multiplayer, I think.
Yeah.
Multiplayer is fun
questionable.
if you get a full group.
Yeah, that's what I
To get
heard,
people.
and so then we didn't end up playing it. So I was like, well. So, but hey, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, the second one on my list, and I think we're gonna catch a couple of us with this one, is Rage 2. Which I'm super excited about because I loved Rage. Okay, I really did. I thought it was an awesome game. The problem for me was Rage's multiplayer was not the best. And we tried to play it. I mean, we had a decent time, but it had a lot. It wasn't like completed enough. I think they implemented the multiplayer, but it wasn't the best. But anyways, the new Rage 2 looks amazing, and hopefully it has the multiplayer and everything, and and it will all work great. I'm just really excited for it. I love the Mad Max feel or style of those Rage games, and so I'm just like super excited to play that style of game. It's just like the Mad Max
Yeah.
style open world type deal.
Yeah, it didn't feel very open world to me.
Well, it's funny. Well, and that may not be your thing, but because we're gonna talk about another game in a minute, and I have questions about it here, so I won't give it away. But for me, Rage 2, probably the second most game I'm looking forward to for this year or the 2019 year, especially being able to play it multiplayer. So, anyways, that's me.
Yeah, buddy.
Jiggly, you want to play some Rage 2?
Yeah, no, it looked really fun. I saw a new word trailer the other day for it, and it looked really good.
And what about you, Ian?
I don't know, man. I haven't looked at it at all. I've
Okay.
seen like a trailer of them just driving through the fucking desert or whatever, and that's literally it. It wasn't even like gameplay.
And Tarnus, you said maybe not so much, just not quite sure.
It's one of those games where like I'll play it if I see you guys playing it and having a lot of fun with it.
Right.
That's it though. It's one of those games where it's like
It's not like
if the
what you're
multiplayer
gonna-
is there,
Pre-order.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go this route. I'm gonna play it after I see some people streaming it.
Yeah, I mean that's what's great about streaming right there. So, cool. Well, Rage 2 for me, it's on my list. I think it's gonna be awesome. We'll find out, obviously. Also in May, so hey, not that far away. Not that far away.
The other one was March. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I know, but it
Was
like
closer.
a couple months to play the other one, right? So, all right, the next one, I am also kind of excited about this. Oh wait, no, it's Jiggly. What's the next one? Oh yeah, I'm down.
It's Jiggly and me, baby.
Jiggly and Daviji both have this on their lists. Y'all want to talk about it?
Oh baby.
Is it my second one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Torchlight.
Torchlight 2. Well,
No.
no, it's just
Uh,
never
it's
mind.
not
It's,
two.
it,
It's
it was
actually-
the MMO one. My bad.
It's actually Torchlight, technically
Technically
3.
3.
Technically
Yeah.
3, but not labeled 3 anymore.
Yeah. But anyway, you're gonna be a good time.
So it's Torchlight
Yeah.
Frontiers is the game, which is their stab at a quote-unquote MMO, right? Because it's not really an MMO. It's more like a Destiny-style MMO where like...
It's more like Guild Wars 1.
You're right.
I wanna
Well,
say.
not even that, because in theory, when you go in the world map, you do get random people.
Yeah.
But then dungeons are party only. So that's more like Guild Wars 1 as far as when you went out on the maps, it was party only. And then the hubs were full of people. So like towns are full of people. World maps, you just get random people. Or if you have a party, your party's there in the world map as well. but not a ton. I think they were talking about like, I can't remember what they said, like 8 to 16. It wasn't a ton of people, right?
It was like 16 or 25. I don't
Yeah,
remember. Something
yeah.
like that, though.
So not like a huge amount of people.
Enough that they can like handle it on their server.
Right, and so you'll be able to see other people interacting with the world. But anyways, and then dungeons. I think actually you could set dungeons, but it's party based or it's meant to be taken on by like a party. So it looks really cool. I love Torchlight, and I know Ian loves Torchlight a lot.
Fuck me, I love that game.
That's why it's on his list. Jiggly loved it as well.
I love ARPGs in general. Like the other thing about it that I really like that I've seen just from like the announcements that they've had is the amount of interaction that you have to have with people. Like you have to have a certain level of interaction to like craft certain things because you get benches in your base and all this other stuff.
Yeah, they added all that, which is awesome.
Sometimes it's like the forced interaction is annoying as fuck, but to me, I feel like for this type of game, the fact that you have to have that interaction is actually going to be more beneficial than not.
Sure.
For the fact that like you don't feel annoyed about the fact that you see all these people because you're just like, hey, maybe they have this thing that I need, you know, something.
Well, some of the things they were talking about too in the crafting is there's like region-based stuff. So like when you're like in the desert region, I don't know if this is real as far as what matches with what, but like in the desert region, you kill like a lot of more bugs or whatever. So the armor style for like the desert region will be like carapace and stuff. And so like you kind of know where somebody's been or like where they focus their efforts because like they're wearing all this like carapace armor because that's like the style they're going for. Or like if you go in the swamp, you got all this like scaly stuff or whatever it is.
Go to like the frozen region, you have all like the fur and shit.
Yeah. So it's really cool that they made the different like areas and like the crafting style for that kind of like armor in that area is like that. So it's themed per se. So that's really cool. Plus like the uniqueness of the classes I'm liking. Which they've kind of always had that, but like they just kind of impacted it even more. And like they even made the classes where like they have specific items that they can wear, which is kind of neat.
The skill tree thing to me is really unique too.
Yeah, and they also implemented. It's kind of isn't it similar to PoE? Like it's
really.
nowhere near in scale, but I thought it was open. Wasn't it open?
It's fairly open. It's open based on which class you have.
Yeah. But it's not like a traditional tree where it's just like you pick this and you go down the line.
Yeah, it's not like you pick this rune on this skill on Diablo 3.
Yeah.
But it's more open with like you can be a little bit more open with what you want to do. Like you're locked to this class, but there's still like shared skills within a couple of classes and stuff.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. It looks pretty cool. So I'm excited about that too. I'm liking the Torchlight Frontiers. I'm ready for it to come out and play. So we'll see how it goes. It's looking pretty good.
Looking pretty tasty there, girl.
All right, cool. Next on the list is Tarnus.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to go with Battlefield 5 Battle Royale.
And it's funny we're talking about this because we just talked about Battle Royales being a thing. So
yeah. I mean, the video only shows a short blurb. Not much is out about it. It's going to be coming out next year. It's going to be 16 groups of 4, so total of
something like that. There's still vehicles.
Completely destructible environment. Just like all Battle Royale, and I believe it's going to be the largest map that Battlefield has ever had.
Makes sense, especially for the Battle Royale part. So,
especially with 64 players, that's going to be very interesting.
Well, and I'm interested in playing it. I love the Battlefield series. I've played Battlefield series since 1942, which was the first one. And I know I am aware that Battlefield 5 is out right now, but I am just going to wait until BR comes out so that I can just kind of play what mode I want to play and have them all available to me. To give it the best chance of me actually playing it longer than a few days, because that's probably what would end up happening. And so I'm going to wait for the BR to come out, so I'm also excited for this, because then I'll actually get to play some Battlefield again. competitive first-person shooters I'm not very good at, so I have to pick and choose when I pick these up and play them. So, but Battlefield in general I like. It's fun. Destructible environments and vehicles are always a thing that I love, which is why I like it over like Call of Duty per se. So I like this too. That this is coming out next year. So I agree with Tarnus. This is a good pickup, hopefully, once this comes out. Did you already pick up Battlefield, Tarnus?
I will actually probably be picking it up Friday since Cybergram's going to be getting the computer by Friday.
Cool. I was wondering where he's been, because he's been kind of MIA a little bit.
Yeah, his computer shat on him for, what was it, 2 months ago?
Kinky.
That sucks. Yeah, so yeah, I'm in. I'm down. I obviously probably won't get it until this actually comes out, so maybe then I'll be playing with you guys and you'll be aces, and then I can just kind of get carried.
You've seen me play PUBG,
okay.
Right?
Okay, well, fine. I can at least play with you guys, make sure you're in front, and then I at least don't get hit by the first bullets.
Meat shield time.
At least the first bullets I don't get hit by, and I can say I lived longer than Tarnus at least, so that'll be fun.
I think fruit flies live longer than me.
Ooh, there you go. All right, now we got one that I didn't put on my list, but I don't know why, because I am really excited about this as well. I'm glad that Ian put it in his list, so go for it, Ian.
Jiggly also put it in his list.
Did he?
Yeah, he put titties.
Oh, that's
Titties!
right.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Now, I am looking forward to this, and it's not on my list because not multiplayer, but it looks so freaking good. I'm ready.
I like it. At least 2 of my games on my list are single player. Or 2 of the games on my list are single player.
You got
Which is weird, considering, yeah, it's good. But no, Cyberpunk 27, dude, fuck, it looks so good. Obviously, we talked about before, and how, we have our certain qualms that we're curious about prior to the release, but fuck me, man, I don't care, it looks so good. It's probably going to be day one buy, and then regret it later sort of thing for me.
Probably, yeah.
Which is fine, it wouldn't be the first time. But, just how fluid some of the gameplay looked, and, how the environment looked, and how it just looks so good. I'm so hard for it.
It does look really good, and it's one of those things where we talk about, hey, this is an E3 trailer, and when we say that, what that means is this is really dolled up, it's
yeah,
they put their best foot forward on an E3 trailer, and even a gameplay trailer, they may knock a bunch of stuff up and put their best assets in there because they want you to see what they think the finished product is going to be, and you never know, they may have to rush it out the door last minute because of some deadline, and they'll have to skip some little things that they put in the trailer, and that's why we're talking about day one. All of a sudden, it could be a disappointment because they're like,
yeah.
we couldn't put basically half the game in because we just had to get it out the door. That doesn't happen all the time. We can still hope that this is going to be awesome and amazing, but it is something that the reason why we point out this is an E3 trailer. This is a Gamescom trailer. It's because they're putting the best of the best out there that they have. So
yeah,
it could not turn out to be the best of the best. But I'm definitely super excited, especially by that gameplay trailer they did this year. So,
dude, the fucking bullets going through the wall, shit. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, and so you have 2 different thought processes here. You have what I like to call the people who go for more realism. Now, this is set in a in the future, so you can throw realism out the door in theory. But
yeah.
I mean, the fact that stuff like that can happen, or you can, shoot out the tires. Some games you can't even do that. And to me, I like those ultra realistic style a little better than some of the other stuff. But it looks really good. Like Ian said, just watching the gameplay trailer, all the things they said about it, your choices mean stuff, and it changes the actual course of the game, blah blah blah. I mean, a lot of single-player games try to do that. Some are successful at it, some are not, so we'll find out, obviously.
And then also, we talked about before, we don't know how true that is.
Yeah. I remember
So,
because you were talking about somebody who had played, or we even in that trailer, that's what we saw.
In
right?
that
'Cause
trailer, we saw
he
how
tried like 3 different options, and it all ended up being like,
the same
gonna
option,
fight.
which is shoot this fucking guy. Yeah.
yeah. Eventually, you had to do that option, and so it was like, well, what was the point of choosing these other options? So
Yeah. How much
Well,
choice do you actually have? So
yeah.
we're hoping that that's not the case. But again, we don't know. We're just going off of fuck the rest of it. Looks good enough. Fuck it.
looks great. Flint, I actually have gotten in the alpha a couple times for New World, but I have not played it because I haven't had time. But it is something that I want to get in and try. The new MMO by Amazon called New World. Is what Flint asked about. So, but it's not really on my list. MMOs for me these days, I do like to try them and play them, but they aren't on my top lists anymore because I just can't devote the time
Stick
to
to
them.
them.
Yeah. I don't have time or the wherewithal anymore. Like, I could barely play like regular games anymore and be like, okay, this is too grindy or whatever. So we'll see on those MMOs. So Cyberpunk 2077, awesome. I'm excited. It's good stuff. Good stuff. What else do we have? I think Tarnus has one more, and I have one more, and then
technically 2 more, but
I
isn't
see.
real.
Your last one is just, it should have a troll face to the right of it.
It's not real. That's
Alright.
not a real game.
Well, let's talk about the other one first, and this one I have some questions about, and so hopefully we might get a
Okay.
little discussion going on here.
so we're going into mine now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is created by Obsidian, which was bought out by, I believe, Microsoft.
Yep. Just
Yeah.
recently, by the way. But yeah.
Just recently.
Yep.
This is the original Fallout people.
Correct.
Oh, actually, I have one more thing.
And also, what's funny about this is the way they did their trailer. Also, but let's talk about it. Go ahead. What is the
So-
game, first of all?
It's called The Outer Worlds.
Okay.
Or The Outer World, or whatever the hell it's called.
It's called The Outer Worlds with an S.
Okay. Sargon brought it to my attention, or somebody did, and the video just, it looked great. It looked like essentially all imagine.
It's being compared to Fallout New Vegas. So
Yes,
okay, so continue.
it's like Vegas, but with humor, like a lot like Borderlands-esque humor. So mixing Borderlands and Fallout together, I'm digging the
Yeah.
vibes quite a bit.
Yeah. It looks really good. The one thing I want to point out here, because and this is because you brought it up, otherwise I probably wouldn't have pointed it out. It's funny to me because we were talking about Rage, and you're like, this doesn't look like a big open world game. They specifically said, like last week or the week before, that the Outer Worlds is actually going to be more linear than Vegas. Don't expect a huge giant game because it's going to be a lot of like linear storytelling, which is fine. I have no problem with games like that. It's just funny because it's actually restricts your free roam, right? Because it's more like linear quest lines. But it still the game, in my opinion, looks really good, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how crossover New Vegas / Borderlands it is, you know. But I love the visuals on it for sure. So, and like you said, the comedy is obviously good. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
And did they say it was coming out next year? I didn't catch a release date.
I don't think there is a release date yet.
We're just hoping it says in 2019. I just said it on the trailer. So I guess
there we go.
somewhere in 2019 it should come out. So we'll see.
In theory.
Yeah, in theory.
In theory.
It's one of those things where they probably like, yeah, we're going to do it into 2019, so we're going to say 2019, and then it gets pushed, of course. So, but yeah, hey, that looks good. And, you know, we always love going back on, hey, it was from the original developers or this or that. And that turns out sometimes and other times it doesn't. So we'll see on that game for sure.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's a good pick though. And that one was just like, we just learned about that game. So, you know, it's, what was that? Was that also the Game Awards, Video Game Awards that trailer came out? I think. Anyway,
I
so
don't-
that's also relatively new to the 2019 lineup. So, did you say you had another one as well?
Yeah,
Let
I
me
put the
keep-
video in. It's actually Dreams.
I haven't, as far as I know, I haven't heard of this. But
Dreams it was originally announced in 2017. It's a PlayStation only. It's made by the people who made Little Big Planet. Basically, it's just like a creator space that's in the form of a game that you can make whatever the fuck you want. And the public beta actually starts tomorrow. Or not public beta, open beta, pre-beta, whatever the fuck. Starts tomorrow for the game. And that's the first beta, as far as I know, that's available. That starts tomorrow. And then the game itself isn't supposed to release until 2019. To point out, like, I'm not a console guy. I don't have a PlayStation. We've talked about this. However, I feel like you're going to hear this again whenever you do your console thing on Friday. This is such a big fucking thing. Like, the people who made, like I said, Little Big Planet, made Little Big Planet in this game just to show what all it's capable of. Like, including, oh, you can change your character, like full character customization, you can create UI elements, etc. They made the entirety of Little Big Planet 2 in Dreams just to show what you can do in Dreams. Like, it
That's
is fucking intense. Again, it was released back in 2017. It's been delayed several times due to the fact that, like, such a big, like, ambitious sort of project thing. I don't know, dude. It just looks it's cool as fuck to me.
no, that's neat. I like so any game that gives you a space to create your own like games, I feel like is a good investment. And there's lots of platforms that let you do this, but to obviously different degrees.
Yeah.
Like even like I don't know if you've looked at the StarCraft 2 like creations people have made in it, but they've literally made like and cease and desists have happened multiple times for this, but they've made like MMOs inside the StarCraft 2 creator because there's so much flexibility, you know.
They made a. I remember back when StarCraft 2 first came out, they had a game, and it was basically you're a kobold, like an actual WoW kobold,
Yeah.
and you basically play what's the Age of Empires, but as a kobold.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so like games that do this, like you're saying, Dreams, and in some aspect, Little Big Planet is kind of like a precursor to this. There was a lot
I just
of
saw
limitation.
like the video, by the way,
Okay, yeah.
of them having Little Big Planet in Dream.
Oh no, that's really cool. Yeah, but this seems like it's going to be a way broader range where you can make almost anything. I saw like a Space Invaders type game.
Yeah.
It looked like an action like RPG style. So there's a lot of things you can build with this. What I like about it is accessibility for people who aren't necessarily like developers, that are going to be able to like learn and figure out how to make like express their creativity out of something that they've been wanting to create and they just can't. You know, you hear this from people all the time. People get very frustrated with and I'm just gonna throw his name out there because he's in here right now. Kovic. He talks about all the time. There's all these things like he wants to add for content to his channel, but he can't draw. He's just like, this sucks. Like I have this really cool idea, but like I can't put it on paper. And so like games like Dreams that you're talking about, why it's so exciting, I think, for that type of game is like it makes like people who are average users, and maybe it takes a little more than that, but like people who don't have the full knowledge of how to make a game can go in and make a game.
Yeah.
And like kind of realize their dream, maybe not fully, but like it get somewhere where like they're proud that they could like bring that to life, you know. And so I really like games like that. It's really cool. I didn't know anything about it till you brought it up, so I'm glad you did. So that's a very interesting. I like that. And what's nice about Dreams on PlayStation, a lot of those games where you like have
It's
games
only
inside of
on
games,
PlayStation.
yeah, they're like PC games and you can do it. But the PlayStation, that's awesome. Like it's way more accessible to like kids is kind of where I'm getting at here, because like you have a lot of kids who want to do stuff like that, and it just gives them a platform to get started, you know. So it's really cool. So that's a good pick. I like that. I like it. Very nice. All right, and then I think Tarnus, you got one more, buddy.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
this isn't real.
let's talk about yours, buddy. You've brought this up multiple times this year, different podcasts. So
Every time, dude. Every podcast.
You're just the champion for this game.
I think that's his goal. Is every podcast.
So if I use two hands and I count to the number 7, there's a Final Fantasy game that apparently they're supposed to have a remake.
Yeah.
But again, E3 this year, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, this they just didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful that it comes out next year, but
he's hyped about it, even though they just like ignore the hell out of it. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
2019 releases? Oh, it doesn't even exist.
No, this is 2019 hype. So I think he's
Hype,
saying
an announcement. He's hyped for the announcement.
He's saying if they just talk about it, he'll be like, yes, I love it.
Exactly.
Yes, I can take off my onesie.
So excited. No, don't take off your onesie. No,
Not on stream.
This is
We don't need another TOS violation.
TOS. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in and blur out stuff like last time. Come on, get out of here.
What did I miss?
You missed
Don't
in the
worry
D&D one, and now you can't see it anymore. You can go watch the video, but it's X'd out. So if you weren't there for the live one, I deleted the VOD for it and everything. It's now an edited VOD that's on Twitch and on our YouTube. You can't see. You had to be there to see it. Anyways, that was a good time. Anyways, so Final Fantasy. So basically, you're saying if you hear anything about it, you're gonna be excited.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm there with you. Although I'm a little bit jaded now, so we'll see.
I just don't care anymore. I'm giving up.
Right? Well,
I
you know,
surrender.
we kind of getting the treatment that Kingdom Hearts fans had, so we know what Jiggly feels like now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the same company.
Yep. Hey, that's what they like doing. Real quick, I want to point out that I did have Anthem on my list. I'm not going to show a video about it or anything. I am of the opinion of what Ian told me earlier. It's like one of those problems where I was super hyped for it. Then they released a video, they released more information, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm not as hyped about it because I'm afraid of what's happening here. But it's one of those things where I'm still...
I hope it goes well.
I'm still pretty hyped about it because it looks really cool. But we'll see. You know, in the end, we'll see how it goes. So, I don't know. You know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's gonna be it for our end of the year. Did we miss anything? I don't think we did. I will bring out. I just want to say thanks to you guys for doing the podcast with me for this year. It's been pretty great. We did quite a few podcasts this year. I like that. We actually stuck with it, and hopefully we stick with it all next year. Tarnus is quitting out on us, but we won't count that. We won't count it because he.
Can we just replace him with a pile of skulls?
or Sexy Raul, because everybody likes Sexy Raul, so we might have him back in here. No, we'll probably actually get somebody that wants to be on a podcast every week or every other week. Come as our normal guy, and then we'll go from there. But anyways, here's to another year. Hopefully we have some more success in the next couple of years, or this next year, doing some more podcasts. I will say that we have a podcast tomorrow and Friday. They'll be a little shorter because I won't be talking. It's going to be everybody else's favorites because you already heard mine today. I might chime in on their selections, and I'll just be kind of leading the podcast along to keep it running. But we got one tomorrow and we got one Friday, so stop by for those if you want to. Also, they'll be on YouTube and on Twitch as VODs, so if you miss them, no big deal. You can come back and watch later.
And don't forget about 1221.
And don't forget about 1221, which is
1221.
Yeah, are you talking about giveaway? Okay,
Oh,
giveaway.
my last day was Shag.
Oh, let's also giveaway because it's Ian's last day with Shag. No, that's not it. I do have a giveaway on Friday. Y'all be sure to stop by Kovac stream tomorrow. his big giveaway is tomorrow, right? No,
20th.
not tomorrow. It's the 20th. Sorry, misinformation.
Thursday.
That's on a Thursday, so it's not a day I have a podcast. So go over to Kovic and watch his stream. If you watch him, make sure you enter because he's doing his big Christmas thing on the 20th. So make sure you check that out.
And you have to be there to win.
You have to be there to win. Also, it's going to be awesome because it's one of those. He's picking
White
like 10
elephant.
people to play in the game, and it's going to be a white elephant thing. I'm down. I'm hoping I win. I have a lot of points, so I'm hoping I get in, but we'll see. I might have to I'm going to say this out loud because it's a joke,
Blow him.
okay? But I might
Blow
have
him.
to pay him under the table to get me in there, okay? That's all I'm saying. This is the only giveaway that I've wanted to actually make sure I win. So I might have to donate a bunch of subs or something tomorrow. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Just
But-
dance.
Just
for me.
You can do something under the table, but it ain't gonna be giving money.
Hey, Dell, I don't even mind just winning coal. I just want to be in that game. It sounds super fun. I'm down. We'll talk about streamer spotlight real quick. I like Tarnis's pick. I do want to say that Ian is going to start streaming, but until he actually starts streaming at a regular rate, I'm not putting
Hey,
him
Mike.
on this list.
Do
Okay. Okay. So, but I will say that Beardsley streams quite a bit. He's actually more of a late night streamer, right? I mean,
Yep.
the most part.
He was streaming with me in the morning, but he's chosen to do his the nightly stream now.
and he streams pretty late. So what I like about Beardsley is I can actually watch him because a lot of people I love to try and watch, and it's middle of the day for me.
Wait,
So,
it's Beardsley? I keep reading it as Beard Slut.
well, that's not it.
Oh, gosh.
Take out the last two because okay. Anyways, here's his Twitch. Go. Why is there a dot in there? Did you put a dot in there?
No, you put it backwards.
Here, let me do it again. There you go. It still looks like there's a dot in that link, but whatever. There's his Twitch. Y'all go over there, give him a follow, check him out.
We can rate him.
Really? Is he streaming right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're gonna rate him. So don't leave. Go over there and say hi to him, please. Anyways, he's a really good streamer. He plays a lot of PoE, which Tarnis got him into.
Yeah.
Okay.
I taught him everything he knows, so everything is wrong.
Right? That's fine. Because
I'm waiting for him to die.
he doesn't read anything. That's how Tarnis taught him how to play. No, I'm just kidding. And then he also plays a lot of Rust, and I'm sure he'll play when Kovic actually does his Rust stuff. So go check him out if you want to watch him play Rust. PoE, I know he likes to play Borderlands, although is he done with his playthroughs on Borderlands? I don't know.
I think he is for right now.
So maybe he'll play Borderlands at some point. But he's a cool guy. Check him out. We're gonna raid him right now, probably. Dev, if you actually will stream on a thing, I'll put you in here. But I'm not doing it until you actually start streaming on a regular basis.
Look, motherfucker.
I'll be like, hey, go follow Dev, and then you don't get on for like 4 weeks. Okay.
Look, motherfucker.
We gotta have some sort of classification here.
Look, motherfucker. That's what
Guys,
they're called.
all you guys watching, it's been a year. Not technically a year, but close enough. It's been a year of us doing this podcast. I appreciate you guys coming and watching. It's one of those things I like doing. It keeps me busy. I love interacting with you guys. I appreciate all the subs y'all did today, the bits, the hosts, blah blah blah. Again, I apologize that there's no notifications for that. It's just because of the podcast, and we just have those off so that you don't hear all those pop-ups while we're recording. Hopefully we'll be back on tomorrow with the streaming crew, part 2 of our end of the year podcast here, and then Friday for part 3 with all the console guys.